Have you ever looked back at a younger version of yourself and thought, where did the energy go? One day you're racing up the stairs 2 at a time, the next you're leaning on the railing halfway up, catching your breath. And while that might seem like just a normal part of getting older, sometimes what feels like harmless slowing down is actually a sign of something more serious habits that are quietly chipping away at your health without you even realizing it. The truth is, not every threat to your well-being makes noise. Some slip in gently, camouflaged as comfort or routine. And before you know it, they're not just slowing you down there, stealing time. But here's the good news. Once you see them for what they are, you can take back control. That's what we're here to talk about today. 5 sneaky habits that may be shortening your life after 60 and, more importantly, how to break free from them. So, if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, then you're ready to feel more alive, more in control, and more hopeful about the years ahead. Stay with me. These aren't big, scary medical lectures. These are small, real-life shifts that make a big difference. And if you take them seriously, they can give you more years, and more life in your years. Before we dive in, I want to thank you for being here with me. If you find value in what we're about to share, I'd be honored if you'd hit that subscribe button. And tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next life-changing health and lifestyle topics we have coming your way. It means the world to me and to the amazing community of wise, caring elders we're building here together. And if something in this video speaks to you, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who might need it, and drop a comment to tell us what topics you'd like help with next. We read every one of them, and your story matters here. Now, let's start with the first habits. Something so common, it often flies under the radar. The habit of skipping movement. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights to stay healthy. But going full days, sometimes even weeks, without meaningful movement can slowly stiffen your joints, weaken your heart, and drain your energy. Your body, even at 60 or 70 or 80, is built to move. Not like a teenager, no, but like you, right now, with strength, grace, and stability that's age-appropriate, but still powerful. And here's the part most people miss. When we stop moving, we don't just lose muscle, we lose confidence. The less we move, the more afraid we get of falling or getting hurt. So we retreat further, we sit more, we skip the walk, we let the garden grow wild, and then the body that once felt strong begins to feel fragile. But this cycle can be broken gently, safely, and without pushing past your limits. You can start by reclaiming 10 minutes of purposeful movement a day. Stretch while waiting for the kettle. Do a few heel raises while brushing your teeth. Take a stroll after lunch, nothing brisk or forced, just movement that reminds your joints they still have a job to do. The key isn't doing it perfectly. It's doing something consistently, with love for your body instead of frustration. Toward it, now. There's another habit that's just as dangerous, but even quieter. Let's talk about the one that begins not in your legs or your heart, but in your thoughts. You see, not all dangers come from what we eat or how much we move. Some of the most powerful threats to our health live right between our ears. I'm talking about the habit of negative thinking, the quiet, persistent inner voice that tells you your best years are behind you, that it's too late to change, that your aches mean decline is inevitable. That voice might sound like it's trying to protect you, but really, it's holding you back from truly living. Our thoughts shape our biology more than most people realize. When you constantly expect the worst, your brain sends signals to your body that keep you in a state of low-grade stress. Your cortisol levels stay elevated. Your immune system weakens, your sleep suffers. And over time, this chronic tension becomes inflammation, fatigue, and even heart disease. Now, I'm not asking you to become endlessly cheerful or to ignore real struggles. Life is full of hard seasons. But every time you choose to speak to yourself with hope instead of defeat, every time you say, I can improve this instead of what's the point, you're planting a seed of health. A simple shift like keeping a gratitude journal or pausing to notice what went right today, even if it's just a cup of warm tea or a call from an old friend. These small mental exercises strengthen your emotional resilience, which in turn strengthens your body. If this feels hard, if your inner voice has been unkind for decades, it's okay. You're not broken, and you're not too late. You're simply retraining a pattern, and patterns can be changed, one kind word at a time, one better thought at a time. You've survived too much and grown through too many storms to let self-doubt write your final chapters. And speaking of storms, There's another habit that may not feel like a habit at all because, for many people, it looks like comfort, but it's quietly harmful, especially after 60. I'm talking about sitting in silence when loneliness creeps in. Now, don't get me wrong, solitude can be beautiful. A calm afternoon with a book or your garden can soothe the soul, but chronic isolation, that's a different story. When days pass without meaningful human connection, when your phone stays quiet and nobody asks how you're doing, your risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even early death rises dramatically. Loneliness, believe it or not, has the same impact on mortality as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15, and yet, so many older adults stay quiet about their loneliness, either out of pride or because they don't want to bother anyone. But connection doesn't need to be loud or overwhelming. It can be a regular chat with a neighbor, a group that meets at the library once a week, a volunteer shift, a book club, even an online community that feels welcoming and warm. What matters isn't how big your circle is, it's how seen you feel within it. And if no one's reached out lately, maybe it's your turn to make the call, to check in, to say, "I was thinking about you," because odds are someone else needed to hear that just as much as you needed to say it. So let's take back our health, not just with food or exercise, but with our hearts and minds and hands. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. Let's keep going. There's another habit that often hides behind busyness but can quietly drain your strength in ways you'd never expect. It starts with good intentions. Staying productive, keeping the house tidy, running errands, maybe even helping others, but somehow, in the middle of doing everything for everyone, you stop doing the one thing that keeps you thriving. Resting. Not the kind of rest where you fall asleep in front of the TV with a stiff neck. I mean real, intentional, healing rest. Time that lets your body catch up, your breath slow down, your nervous system find peace. The truth is, many people over 60 confuse not working with resting. But being retired doesn't mean you're truly recharging. And if you're constantly on the go, running on routine and obligation, your body never gets the downtime it needs to rebuild. Here's what happens when rest goes missing. Your sleep gets lighter, your immune system starts to sputter, little aches don't go away, and your mood flattens. You may not notice it right away because the decline is slow, but over time, the wear and tear from always doing adds up. So how do we change it? We begin by valuing stillness as much as we once valued action. Give yourself permission to take a nap without guilt. Turn off your phone for an hour in the afternoon and let your nervous system breathe. Sit outside and do nothing except feel the air move across your face. These tiny moments are not indulgent. They're repair time. Just like we wouldn't expect a car to run forever without an oil change, we shouldn't expect our minds or bodies to function well without renewal. Some people worry that slowing down means giving up, but it's the opposite. Intentional rest is a commitment to keep going stronger, clearer, and longer. Think of it as your quiet investment in future energy. One of the wisest things you can do for your health is to listen when your body whispers, so you don't have to deal with it when it starts to scream. And while we're talking about whispers, let's talk about a habit that many people fall into without even realizing it. It's the habit of ignoring small symptoms, brushing things off with a wave of the hand and I'm sure it's nothing. Now, I get it. No one wants to be a hypochondriac. No one wants to run to the doctor every time they feel a twinge or a flutter. But after 60, your body's signals matter more than ever, and small things can turn into big problems if we let them go unchecked. A little shortness of breath after stairs, some stiffness in your fingers in the morning, a funny feeling in your chest that comes and goes. These might be nothing, or they might be the body's early warnings. And catching them early is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to add years to your life. It doesn't mean living in fear. It means living with attention, with care, with respect for the amazing system that's carried you through life so far. When you notice changes, track them, jot them down in a notebook. If something lingers longer than a couple of weeks, or comes back again and again, bring it up, make the call, ask the question. The best health decisions are made with curiosity, not panic. You deserve a long life where you feel well, and listening to your body without brushing things off or waiting too long helps you protect that life. Let's keep moving forward, because there's one final habit that may be the most dangerous of all yet. So many of us never realize we've fallen into it. Let's talk about something quietly dangerous. Something that looks innocent on the surface, but slowly chips away at your health, your joy, and even your will to live. It's isolation. Now, you might not think of yourself as isolated. Maybe you talk to your neighbor. Maybe your children call once in a while. Maybe you go to the store or wave at the postman. But true connection, the kind that makes your eyes light up and your heart feel understood, that's harder to come by. And the truth is, after 60, a lot of people slowly slip into a life with fewer conversations, fewer hugs, fewer invitations, and more hours alone with the television or the radio or the empty kitchen table. The problem is, the body and brain don't just prefer connection. They need it. Social connection is as vital as sleep, food, and water. When you go too long without meaningful interaction, your stress hormones creep upward, inflammation rises, memory declines, and worst of all, hope can fade quietly, day by day. It doesn't always come with dramatic sadness. Sometimes it shows up as boredom or restlessness, or that feeling that the days blend together and nothing quite excites you anymore. That's not just AGITs, a lack of meaningful human connection, and the body knows the difference. So how do we break this habit? It doesn't require becoming the life of the party or filling your calendar with events. It starts with one simple truth. Every human needs to feel seen, heard, and valued. If your days have become quiet, start by reaching out even just once a week. Call an old friend, visit a senior center, invite someone over for tea. Or if mobility is tricky, join an online group where you can speak your mind and be part of a conversation. You have more to offer than you realize. Your stories, your wisdom, your warmth, someone out there needs them. And just as you might lift someone else's day with your words, you might find that your own heart lifts too. That sense of purpose, of mattering, it adds years to your life. Real years. Studies show that socially engaged older adults live longer, happier, healthier lives than those who go it alone. And if you've been feeling isolated for a while, it's not your fault. Modern life doesn't always make it easy to stay connected, especially if friends have moved away or health changes limit your mobility. But here's the thing. Every day is a new chance to reach out, to begin again, to take one small action toward a brighter, more connected life. You're not alone in feeling lonely, but you don't have to stay there. Let's pause here and take a breath together. You've made it through all 5 habits. Maybe one of them hit home, maybe a few did. But the most important thing to know is this. None of these habits define you. You're not too old to change, you're not too far gone to feel better, you're not stuck. With a few gentle shifts, a walk in the fresh air instead of hours in a chair, a nourishing breakfast instead of skipping meals, a meaningful chat instead of silent afternoons, you can start to reverse the slow clock of decline. You can build a stronger, brighter tomorrow, today. And if this video gave you even one helpful nudge, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to this channel and tap that little notification bell. That way, you won't miss any of the powerful, practical tips we create just for wise elders like you. It helps me keep going, and it helps our whole community grow. If you liked what we talked about today, give this video a thumbs up. It tells the system this content matters. Share it with someone who might need a reminder that small changes can lead to big hope. And leave a comment below. Tell me which habits you're working on or what other topics you'd like me to cover. I read every single message. You are stronger than you think, smarter than you give yourself credit for, and more important than the world often tells you. Don't forget that. Here's to living your best life, at any age. See you in the next one.